The race to get the best gear in slot, highest expertise, is a goalpost that in the life of New World will always continue. We as players will always need something to aim towards, and best, there continues to be additions and mechanics in this regard. However, how does it stack up? Is it any good and worth your time? Well, today here's your guide for Umbral Shards. Let's explain the mechanics to start off with. Umbral Shards can raise your gear score from 590 to 625. This does not reroll perks or increase rarity. The gear score must be 590 to gain access to this mechanic. This will also raise your expertise in line with the gear you're leveling up. Overall, seeing a slight increase in effectiveness in perks and base stats. The amount of shards per level continuously increases during each level. It will cost a total of 9,164 Umbral Shards to go from 600 to 625 for all gear slots. Currently, the scaling for levels 590 to 600 as far as the amount of shards required is currently not tested, but pulling from New World database. Here we can see the amount of shards required to level up the items, starting at 1 shard to go from 599 to 600, and at 624 requiring 2500 shards. In order to use Umbral Shard, first you must have a piece of equipment at the gear score of 590 or higher, and your expertise should at least be 590 or higher as well. Once these two requirements are met, then you can right click on the item you wish to upgrade and select the upgrade option. Once the upgrade is complete, then the gear score on your item will be upgraded and the expertise for that particular item slot will be upgraded as well. It is also important to note that upgrading any item with an Umbral Shard will bind that item to the player, so you cannot upgrade a piece then place it on the trading post. The method for collecting shards are dungeon mutations, gypsum cast, and gear score crafting. The best method as far as quantity is dungeon mutations. Again, referencing New World database, here we can see that depending on the difficulty and which rank you receive, if it's either a bronze, silver, or gold, will dictate how many points you get. The ranking for the mutations being based on these factors: clear time, enemies killed, and most importantly respawn/wipe count. Wiping being a very significant score reduction, so you want to avoid that at all costs. Moving on to Gypsum Cast. Gypsum Cast you save now and carry over into the patch will provide Umbral Shards provided your expertise is above 590, so it's time to start saving. Opening these casts will provide the listed shards depending on your current expertise level. Granted, this is for everything above 600. At this time, it is unknown if 590 to 599 will provide shards or not. Then finishing up with gear score crafting. Upon crafting a 600 gear score item, you will receive an expertise bump for that particular item slot up to 600. After reaching 600 expertise for a certain item slot, you will begin receiving Umbral Shards each time you craft a gear score 600 item. The amount of shards rewarded is based upon the slot expertise level. Here is the reward per expertise level via this method. From these examples, you can garner which is the best method. There's multiple ways that Amazon Game Studios is pushing, with dungeons and mutations greatly being the prominent one. As far as a reminder, 600 to 625 is a slight increase in effectiveness. Don't expect to be putting the world ablaze with your new higher gear score. It's very minor. If you found this video useful, hit that like, consider subscribing as we cover New World content frequently, and we'll continue to make these guides. I personally love this edition, more to do personally, and I love the grind. But until next time, it's Feb.